this ecstasy when you look at me. Say you wanna taste, but you might OD. Like the way I get all the pesos. Like the way I get all the pesos. No, you say I'm the reason. Ask me for a fee.
What's going on? It's your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live on the industry's most wanted podcast. Listen, it's all about the producers tonight. We got a couple dope guests checking in tonight. Man, first and foremost, give me some love over here. But you got to hold it there. We transferring good energy. You feel that?
I feel that.
Good vibes, all that. Introduce yourself.
Weku Did That, man, producer, cinematographer, creative director, but I stay on that music.
Nah, for real, man. Listen, it's long overdue for us to come together and do this. You know what I'm saying? We've been engaging for a long time through social media. Right. I'm definitely in tune with what you got going on. You got a dope artist you're working with. So I appreciate you being here today, tonight.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for having me, man.
Absolutely, man. Before we talk about, everything that you're working on now, which is a lot. Yep. I know you got a lot of stuff going on, right?
Yep.
Let's talk about when you was a little boy. Where did you grow up?
Born and raised Florida. I'm a Florida boy.
I'm a Florida girl.
Yep, born and raised Central Florida. Then
Orlando area?
Orlando area.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yep, then moved around a little bit. Went up north and settled in Atlanta.
So about what age was that transition from Orlando to Atlanta?
Shoot, man. Shoot, that might have been 20s.
Okay.
Early 20s.
So you spent
20s.
a good portion of your life in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we got a lot to talk about then because, I'm a true Florida girl. I was in my 30s before I moved to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. Hey.
Would you say that growing up in Florida had an influence on for you to get involved with music?
I mean, I would say that I guess the lack of push in Orlando music gave me more push to do music because you don't got a lot of support in Orlando. You know what I mean? So,
it's very touristy out there.
Right.
Most people go there to go to Disney and such. Epcot and Universal and all that. But no, you're absolutely right. I remember in my younger years, going to Orlando. The music scene definitely wasn't heavy out there. Shout out to, remember DJ Magic Mike?
Yep.
He was from out that way, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, how many people really came up through Orlando? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there's I can't even remember, to be honest. Like, I would have to think, and then I was too little to remember.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Before you started getting involved with music, did you aspire to do something different?
Not really.
No?
Not really. I kind of always wanted to do music. I started out doing the artist thing initially, you know what I'm saying? But then I think with maturity in the craft, you kind of know where you want to place your feet and everything. And
absolutely.
so then I decided that I wanted to do production, focus on the production, you know what I mean?
Okay, so when you first started out as an artist, you were actually recording music and putting singles out there and stuff?
Yeah, initially.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Put me on game.
And you won't find it, too. You won't find it either.
Y'all heard it here first.
You won't find it. I'm not saying it wasn't hot, you know what I mean? But, I wanted to focus on more being in the production.
Understood. Absolutely. No, listen, shamelessly, some of my first interviews I did, I just took them down too because I was like, bruh.
Right. Look, man.
Camera angles was bad. Audio was terrible. I was like, yeah, them things got to go.
Right.
But it's all about elevation.
That's it.
So why production?
So, I guess what pushed me into production is because I don't really like being in the forefront.
Understood.
And so even if I could record music, but I won't push it the way I want to push it because I don't really want to do the artist thing like that.
Yeah, you got to be out there all the time as an artist.
Yeah, and I like, as you can see, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I like playing the background with a lot of things.
Right.
And so I
respect it.
Yeah, I think that's what, but you know what I'm saying? Again, that's just knowing where you want to place your feet in the game, you know?
No, absolutely. I always refer to myself as a social introvert because I really love being home and I really love being alone and I really like being away from people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when I do get in a social situation like this, I keep it intimate, but I enjoy the company, if that makes sense.
I get that. I completely get that.
Yeah, so I'm sure you probably feel the same way. Yeah. When you do your studio sessions and stuff, you probably don't like a big gang of people inside there.
I don't, man. I don't. And to be honest, like, I've been in those settings where it's a lot of people. But I can't wait for everybody to kind of clear out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just can kind of get into my own vibe. You know what I mean?
Nah, for real. I'm like that too. Like, that's why I put a limitation. I tell people up front, don't bring more than 2 people with you because I'm gonna keep you sending you back where you came from. Right. Because there's no reason for studio sessions and interviews that they need 10, 15 people with them. It's ridiculous.
I get that.
You know, when you first started producing, were you doing it for yourself or were you already doing it for other people at the gate?
And yeah, initially it was for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you know when you're doing it as an artist, and you don't really know where your pocket is. You know, people will tell you one thing or the other, so then you kind of might gravitate towards just doing the beats for other people because they'll be like, yeah, the beat is hot. You know what I'm saying? But this is not really that hot, but it's always the beats was hot. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, I really don't want to do no artist thing anyway. You know what I mean? So I just start producing for other people. So I've been producing for others for like a long time. Like not too far after I started doing it in the first place.
I mean, and that's dope because you're still able to stay involved within the music business.
Right.
But you don't have to be on the forefront of it because you're not the artist.
Right.
You know, producers get to be more introverted and be in the studio behind closed doors and stuff, and I totally respect it. Right. With that being said, man, like, you know, let's talk about the career path of being a producer, if you don't mind. I'm going to dig a little bit because there's a lot of aspiring producers, man. Some of them are starting, like, I'm talking 14, 15 years old, maybe even younger, making some really dope production. Any aspiring producers out there that are looking to get started in the first stages, what would be that piece of advice you would give them?
I would say to follow the beat of your own drum. You know what I mean? Like, don't let people's opinions affect too much of what you do and what you create in your sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when you do that, I mean, you kind of lose yourself in everybody else. You know what I mean? So that would be my biggest piece of advice, and just remain consistent.
Yeah, that's the key to life.
Right.
Period. With everything is staying consistent. Right. You know, like I'm working on doing better with certain things. Being consistent, you know, got to get more consistent on the workouts, and I'm trying to get a more consistent schedule, you know.
I get it. It's a process. Everything is a process.
It is tough because we stay so busy, you know what I'm saying? Who was one of the first artists to jump on one of your beats?
Man.
Besides yourself, of course.
You know what? I can't really. It's so many that I can't even say a name to. It's
been a while too. You've been doing this for a little minute.
I can't really say. Dang, man. It was some Florida artists. I would say it's some Florida artists. Yeah,
probably somebody that you met locally, or
it was somebody locally, and they were doing some work with Cash Money.
Okay.
At the time.
Word.
But yeah, it was some Florida artists. That's what I'll leave it at. That.
Okay, that's fine. That's cool. I kind of have an idea, but I may be way off. We'll talk about it later.
Okay, we can do that. Yeah.
You know, throughout your career within music, and we'll say specifically, you know, production. You know, I know you're a creator of other things as well, but you know, you said cinematography as well. You do a lot of different stuff. But on the production side, what's been like that highlight moment for you so far?
Shoot, man, I've had a lot of highlight moments.
Yes, I know you have.
I'll say that. I've had a lot of highlight moments, but I think what my highlight moment that I was looking for was consistent work with a consistent artist.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a good team, is going to help you be successful.
Man, please believe it. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, so I think my biggest highlight was, getting with the artist that I'm working with right now.
Yeah.
and just being able to push out work consistently with her, Renee
Right.
Bonet, you know what I mean?
And she's really dope. Her and I since have connected to social media because of you, and I really want her to come through here at some point in time for an interview as well. So
that's dope. She even busier than I am. Like, you know what I mean? So like,
we'll catch her when we can.
yeah. Like,
But I love it. She grinding.
yeah. She probably is probably out of all the artists that I work with, probably the one with the best work
Ethic is
like it's just
through the roof.
it's
You know.
crazy. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that was my highlight, just finding an artist that you could deal with and consistently push out music.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So
Definitely. Let's talk about that just a little bit. What was it within her? I know she's consistent, she works hard, but was there something specific about her? Was it the type of music she was doing or just her work ethic that said, you know what, I got to work with this girl?
Well, I think what it was initially, it was her style.
Yeah.
Like her style. I liked the style. I felt like it was international.
Okay. So
And
she was very marketable.
Yeah, so that's the first thing I said. I was like, you know what? If because she was busy too at the time, you know, when the connection happened or whatnot. But I was like, if we can establish that and keep it going, if it worked, like if we get in the studio and it worked, then that's good.
Right.
But it was just the marketability. That's what I saw.
Yeah.
Initially, and then her sound was different.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And then I felt like my sound was different, and that, you know, if we put them sounds together, it might be different, but eventually it'll catch on.
You're going to start getting them plaques hanging around the walls. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got my first plaque with Renee Bonet.
Man, congratulations.
You know what I mean?
See, you
Consistency.
y'all made magic together. That was a team effort right there.
Team effort, you know what I mean? So that's I think that's my highlight, is finding a good team. And like, you know, the company that I'm signed with, Novelty Publishing Group, like, they're a good team. They handle a lot of stuff as far as coordinating everything, and like, you know, this right here is set up everything. Like, they are just a good team, you know what I mean? And sometimes you got to keep the circle small, you know what I'm saying, to get big.
I totally agree, bro.
You know what I mean?
Like, man, I could have a whole conversation about that because
Right.
I'm a believer, and we'll just talk about it for a second. You got to have a team for sure.
Right.
In the beginning, you're going to do a lot of stuff by yourself until you figure out who is worthy of being around you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like, you a brand in yourself, you know, you can't just put homie from down the street on your team, because he's not going to go hard for the situation.
Exactly.
Or he might do something silly that's going to mess up your situation. So it's about being mindful, but at the same time, you want to keep your circle small because of those situations.
Exactly.
Too many people becomes messy.
Exactly. You know, and the thing about it is, you can try. You know what I mean? You can try, but I feel like when it's supposed to happen, it just happened like when you turn on the faucet. You know what I mean?
Right.
The water just come out. I
Period.
just feel like it happened like that. So it's no pressure to expand, and it just happens. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about some of the stuff that you're working on right now. You know, people got a little idea of how you came into the business and got started with your production.
Right.
We're in 2022, man. Like, we're in such a digital era. I'm sure you've seen a lot of change just within the music business and the way it's distributed, to the way that we're on social media all the time and stuff like that. What are some of the things that you're working on right now?
Shoot, man, I'll be honest. You know, I try to center on. Right now, we're working on single release. Let me just say that.
Okay.
We got a single that is dropping April 22nd, Pesos. And we're getting ready for the rollout. We got a tour that we're about to go on after the rollout, after the date, April 22nd. So that's what I'm working on right now, because that's a lot in itself. You know,
it is.
That's a lot in itself. Anything that, even if you're not the artist, anything that you attach yourself to, like, you want to be a part of it as much as possible.
Absolutely.
So it's like that's what I'm really working on right now. You know, the single release that's coming out April 22nd, Pesos.
In that song, is it with Renee?
It's Renee Bonet.
Okay.
Renee Bonet, Pesos. Yep.
Any particular reason why you chose that date for release? Does it have any significance?
So, you know, man, you gotta watch the industry, right?
Yes.
You gotta watch the industry and watch when people drop, you know, their records. And the majors, you know, you got to move like the majors if you want to get the results of the majors, you know. So everybody drops on Fridays.
Right, exactly. They absolutely do.
So, and that's too just the knowledge of that a good team will give you. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of artists don't know that. But yeah, Fridays are the days of drop, and you see who's dropping around that time frame, and figure out what you want to do. You can go head to head with Drake if you want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
good luck.
Good luck. You know what I'm saying? But but that's basically it. Just the industry drops on Friday.
Yeah, it definitely does. And one thing, and I'm sure you understand this. We've done a lot of research and stuff on analytics, and as an independent artist, years ago, the thing was to drop a single and push that thing forever. And that part hasn't changed. Right. But we're in a digital era. We're in a streaming era. Now, as an independent artist, you need to be dropping music every month.
You see, now, you know what? I agree but disagree.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll explain why.
Yeah.
Tell
me why.
I'll explain why.
Tell me why.
With all the artists that I've worked with, we'll watch their analytics. Because mind you, a lot of them are independent. Right. So they're not going to have a longevity on a single. It's going to be hot for about 3-4 weeks, and then it's going to start diving down.
I get that.
So in order to keep your numbers up and to stay in the algorithm on Spotify, boom, now you got to drop another single, rev it back up.
I get that.
You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
We were in an era before where there was like opposite, don't do that. Now with the way analytics are, for example, one of the artists that we work with, he every 3 to 4 weeks is dropping a song, and his numbers have went way up, not only up on like the streaming and stuff, but now he's on several what do they call playlists? Because when you get into that algorithm of Spotify, by consistently dropping, they start putting you on different playlists.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's changed. Trust me, I was never a believer in that. I was always like, man, you need to ride that single for a long time. But the way the digital era and the algorithms changed for an independent artist, now they need to be dropping a whole lot more. So,
Dang, that's crazy.
Right, exactly. Listen, it is, and we've tested it out. Right. It definitely is working for the benefit of the artist, as long as they got enough music in the vault.
Right. That's that catalog. That catalog is important. Let's
talk a little bit about that, because I really want you to focus on this for just a minute. One of the things that I do a lot of consulting with artists, and, they got to get the basics down first, right? Get your business together, your publishing, all that. But another thing that I always try to instill in them is make sure you own your production, or at least lease it. Don't just go download a free beat off of YouTube. Right. Make no connection with the producer whatsoever. Talk to us about that a little bit, if you don't mind.
Okay. All right. So last year, I dropped 2 instrumental albums, right? And I chose to not lease those albums. I chose to put them out just for streaming.
Okay.
For specific reasons. But as a producer, if you're going to put your records out there, you got to make sure that you copyright them.
Right.
Okay, so I don't put out any music without it being copyrighted.
Yes.
I don't put out any music without it being registered with my PRO.
Right.
Okay. I also have an LLC.
Yep.
So when it comes down to leasing, I rarely, unless the bag is big enough, I rarely will sell over an exclusive.
Right.
You understand? Unless it's just worth it, because I try to tell producers, you don't know how much you can make from a lease.
Yeah.
And then for somebody to offer you a certain amount, it may seem good in the small run, but but in the long run, you don't know what you capped yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're gonna make more money off them leases in the long run.
Yeah. So I mean, the leasing is important, but you definitely have to have your copyright, your PR registration done, and have an LLC that you can protect your work with. You know what I mean? I think that's the main thing.
That's a great piece of advice, because there's a lot of young and aspiring producers out here who they need to be put on game, and artists as well.
Yeah, a lot of the producers, because this is a thing in the producer world too. You put out your beats on YouTube so that artists can download them, and I get it, but you're at risk.
Absolutely, you are.
Every time.
Every time.
You just have to weigh that risk versus the exposure that you might get.
Right.
Because you don't know who is listening to that beat, and you don't know when somebody's going to take that beat. And I have my stuff listed under content ID, so anybody that uses it,
right,
I get a notification, you know what I mean? So that's another thing, YouTube content ID for the producers and everything. I'm pretty sure they know about that.
Absolutely. Just like with an artist, they register like with Song Trust, which gets their content ID. That way, if I use their song in one of my videos, they're supposed to get paid off of that.
Exactly.
Same thing with your production. Exactly. As a producer, you have to protect yourself.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, a lot of these producers don't know nothing about that. So that you get thousands of people downloading your beat, using it, and potentially putting it on the digital platforms when you should be getting a check off of that as well.
Exactly. I've gotten several notices of, people trying to use records and so forth. And then you got scams out there too, man. People trying to use your record and say that they send you a contract, say they want to pay you $50 for the beat. But in the contract, it's like you're getting $50 for the beat, and it's like signing over everything. So
heck nah.
Yeah, be wary of those little funny contracts, because they'll come from it'll look legit, but it won't be legit. You know what I mean? So
absolutely. Let's talk about where you want to go, future wise with your production, and you do other things within the business. You're working with artists and stuff like that. If we could fast forward a couple of years, where are we gonna find you at?
Sure, man. You'll find me composing for more movies. That's like my end goal. Composing for more movies, television shows, and so forth like that.
Yeah.
And then doing composition for like live shows.
Right.
So that's my end goal. You know what I mean? Eventually.
That would be really dope, man. Before we get out of here, we gotta talk to us about the mask. I'm sure you get asked a lot.
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, the mask is. I mean, the mask is just my thing. You know what I mean? Some people wear sunglasses.
Right. Absolutely. I do. I wear heart-shaped sunglasses,
right.
Because they're different.
Whatever makes you feel good. I feel like, the mask is that's like my
that's your signature. Yeah. People know that.
That's it. You know what I mean? It's really, I don't really care to be seen in that light, because I feel, even though it's kind of contradictory, because I get a lot of attention.
Right.
That I didn't want, but it's the same thing. But really, that's really what.
But they can't see the face, though.
That's the thing. It's the mystery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
is that copper on there?
It's copper.
Oh,
so
it's like a whole lot of energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
I've noticed you talk to us about the beads you got around your neck.
Oh, so these are my Edovies. I'm Nigerian.
Okay.
These are my father's.
Oh, okay. They're really, really nice.
Yeah. These are genuine. From the country. You know what I mean?
So they've been around for a while.
Yeah.
Were they like your grandfathers that had they been passed down through generations?
I'm the first one to get it passed down to. So. Yeah.
And so how does that work? Because I'm not familiar. Do you pass it down to your kids, or does it stop with you? How does it work?
So
put me on game.
So it's a choice. You know what I'm saying? My father, handed. I was given them by my father. You know what I'm saying? And so then I pass it down to my children.
Yeah.
And, my son. And then, he has a son. He's going to pass it down to his
Absolutely.
son.
So it is definitely generational.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
So dope.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. Anything else you got coming up that you can let everybody know about?
Shoot, man. I know I've been plugging it, but, Renee Bonet.
No, keep plugging.
Pesos, 4/22/22. 22/22. That's, that synchronicity stuff. So
yeah.
Friday, 4/22/22, Renee Bonet Pesos. But yeah, that's what we got coming up. And the tour is coming up too. So y'all just follow my Instagram at _Weku, WEKU. And keep up with it, man.
One more quick question, and then we're going to get to the closure of this. Where did the name come from, Weku?
So I'm Nigerian.
Yes.
My name is really long.
How many letters are in it? Like
it's
20?
Really long, yeah. It's probably more than 20 in my whole name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
you got a long name.
Yeah, so we shorten that up real quick. So it's my name, but it's a shorter version of my name.
That's what you got to do. Like on my dad's side, we're Czechoslovakian. Okay. So my Czech last name is like this long,
right?
So they shortened it down to 5 letters. You know what I'm saying?
So you get it. You know what I mean? That's really all it is. It's like I go by Weku, but it's like if I even went and said the whole, it's just too much.
No,
I tried. I got through school doing all of that, and I was like, forget it.
I get
You know
it.
what I mean? So
I get it, bro. So before we get up out of here, you gave out your social media one more time. Tell them where to keep up with you.
yeah, man. Follow me on Instagram _WEKU. Follow the homie at Renee Bonet at RENEBONET. You know, we stay lit.
Absolutely. Who you got with you today?
I got my man's he on the camera, Patrick H. Rogers. Y'all follow him too. You know,
He bought the big boy equipment out today.
Yeah, that's my guy. He gonna be rocking with me for a minute.
Man.
So, yeah, that's what's up. But yeah.
He's gonna be one of, and you already know this, but he's one of the most pivotal parts of what you got going on.
Of course.
You have to document everything. Shout out to Knowledge. He's a producer as well, and he does a lot of my photos and stuff like that. You know, you gotta have a good team. We discussed this. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Second thing we got to do, man, tell everybody, you know, that's supporting the movement. If you want to say something to them, shout them out. What would you like to say right now?
I mean, everybody that support the movement, man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all keep doing what y'all do. It's all love. You know what I mean? That's it.
Word. That's what's up, man. Last but not least, and this is the most important question of the whole night, right?
Right.
We're on the industry's most wanted podcast. I got Weku here with me.
Weku did that.
Weku did that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Recognize, get familiar. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know the mask.
Right.
What makes you the industry's most wanted?
Sure, man. I'm the industry's most wanted because I'm everything the industry needs in one little package.
That's a good answer. I like that. Hey, we up out of here, man. Give me some more love. Boom. You dig? We up out of here, y'all.